This podcast is brought to you by Most Valuable Podcasts, saving your day from boredom with the best podcasting entertainment.
What's up, Real MVPs, Ricky Widmer here, along with fellow Manchild, Johnny Karlic.
Don't do it, Goku, he's too strong for you!
And Johnny, we haven't done this in a while. I don't think we've done this since I've got this shirt, but if you're on YouTube, Johnny, what does my shirt say?
Hugger's gonna hug.
Hugger's gonna hug. We said we were gonna do this when I bought this shirt.
Oh, yeah.
Right here in front. When I bought it, we said we were going to do that. Audio listeners right now are like, wait,
what the hell is going on?
Did they stop podcasting? Ooh, I got a shock from the headphones. I touched my finger on the jack. But welcome into the Rick and Johnny. If this is your first experience to the Rick and Johnny podcast, you were like, what the hell is going on?
You probably turned it off by now.
Why are these guys hugging? Well, because Hugger's got to hug. And I said we were going to do that every time I wear this shirt on the podcast.
I think I actually threatened you the first time you wore that shirt.
And then both of us forgot about it.
Yeah, we did.
So
because you also haven't worn the shirt since then.
Yeah, we're also going to do it, and that's why we just did that. Huggers gotta hug, as I am part of the Hugger section as a Bailey supporter. But welcome in to the Rick and Johnny podcast. This is where we talk about everything in movies, entertainment, TV, superheroes, comics, basically everything under the two nerdy suns. Star Wars, Avengers, Marvel, DC, anime a little bit. And Johnny, we got a jam-packed show because not only did the next Avengers trailer drop?
Yeah, it did.
We're kind of entering that season where, hey, we're going to drop number 2 in about 2 weeks. It'll be April, and then it's the Blitzkrieg all the way to Avengers Endgame. We're going to break down that trailer, give our thoughts on the newest Avengers Endgame trailer. Then we're going to talk about Disney news because apparently James Gunn is back.
Apparently.
And he's going to be directing Guardians 3. We're going to give our thoughts on that, plus what we think the story to Guardians of the Galaxy 3 and when we may see it and all that hot jazz. And then we're going to end the podcast looking at some DC as Ezra Miller might be out as the Flash. He is doing a one last ditch effort to save his job. And we're going to talk about, should DC just say, nah, you're good. Like, we're good. You're good. Just leave. We're going to recast the Flash.
Run.
We are going to talk about all that and a little bit more. A little spoiler there, or not spoiler, a little tease and more, as I did not pitch one of our big things coming up in between. Nerd Madness is basically what I'm talking about there. I spoiled it. Nerd Madness will happen
way to spoil the spoiler of spoilers
in this podcast. But Johnny, let's start off with the big ticket taper topic of the podcast. Avengers Endgame, new trailer coming out. The first thing I will ask you is, what did you think the first time you saw the trailer? What were your initial thoughts before we get into some nitty-gritty and break it down?
Well, to be fair, when YouTube suggested it to me on my phone, I'm watching it, and up until we got, like, some actual event, like, what looked like actual Avengers
You didn't think it was a trailer?
I didn't think it was.
Yeah.
I thought it was one of those fan-mades, and, like, this is really cool. Especially when they did the Sin City route with everything black except for things that are red.
Well, they've been doing that from the beginning with the dust and stuff.
They have, but it was really cool. Like, I'm like, okay, this is a really cool fan one. And then, like, they started showing things like, okay, this actually looks like it's from the trailer. Oh, yeah. Holy shit. Like, what cemented it was when I saw Hawkeye with shave and the mohawk. I'm like, okay, this is Avengers trailer.
Yeah. No, and for me, like, that
But I was super excited.
I didn't think it was fan-made, but I opened it and was like, okay, like, this isn't a trailer. This is them just doing their, like, 10-year thing to, like, get us excited for Endgame.
I thought it was a fan-made 10-year thing.
But the way they did that really hammered home some stuff.
It did.
Where it was like Tony Stark, where we've said it before, like, he's lost in space, trapped in the sand, just like he was in Iron Man 1. You've got Captain America, who at this point might feel the same way he did
when he first lost Bucky.
Movie. Well, not even that. In the first movie, where it's like he's too small. He's not going to be in the army. Oh, that's true,
yeah.
How do you stand up to someone like Thanos?
Which is why they had it like the scene where he stands in front of the mirror and he's too short to actually be in the...
Plus, the voice narrating was Peggy Carter.
That's true.
That was Peggy Carter's voiceover from Winter Soldier when she was telling him, like, hey, sometimes we need to rebuild, and sometimes we have to go back to, like, I think it was, like, back to our roots or something, in order to, like, solve your problems and stuff. That, to me, like, this trailer was a lot of just symbolism.
It was.
Of, hey, this and that. The one thing that people are freaking out about, though, is Hawkeye.
Yeah.
And the reason why I say that is there is a scene in this trailer where you see Hawkeye with a young lady who fires a bow at an arrow, hits the target, and Hawkeye high fives her. Mm-hmm. Many people were like, this better not be Kate Bishop. This better not be it. Here's what I'm thinking, Johnny. It's not Kate Bishop.
No.
The reason they put this in the trailer... This was like that's his daughter.
It is.
This is his family.
I mean, why wouldn't he teach her to do the archery thing?
It's to cement the idea of his family got snapped away.
Yeah. No, it was like cement ideas that like sort of like what everyone lost because like we had flashback for Iron Man, we had flashback for Captain America, we had flashback for Thor of Asgard, his father. Like one of the first movies, and then what really like kind of hit home with like hit that little scene with that is going back to him at the like almost like the very end like of Infinity War. Thank you, where he's just standing there going,
watching everyone die.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, and I'm watching it right now, and like that's one thing that I think we never really might not have really grasped the idea of at the end of Infinity War of like someone like Thor who didn't go for the head. Watched everyone die. Well, not everyone, but a lot of people die because of it. What's going on in that little tin can of his, or that big tin can of his, because he's got a big head.
Yeah, he does.
Not like a big head.
Yeah, he
do. You know what I'm talking about. But he's got like all that to deal with right now.
The guilt of it.
Yeah, and then like how are we going to change it? But then also we see Scott Lang, where... I don't know where this would be. I'm assuming it's right after he comes out of the quantum realm. He's like, I think so. Like,
yeah, he's like, look,
what's going on? Why is everyone missing? Like,
because like it looks like there's a bunch of posters,
like
on
missing posters
on the outside of a telephone pole, basically coating the whole telephone pole.
Yeah, with all these missing posters.
Yeah.
Thing I want to ask you though is with. Because Mark Webber, Tuesday, because the trailer dropped Tuesday, had a distinct, what's the word I'm looking for? A distinct displeasure with the trailer. Because up until this until this trailer, we haven't seen Tony Stark outside of space. But at the end of this, when we see them in their new Avengers suits, their quantum realm, we see Tony Stark with them. Was that a bad move by Marvel? Because Mark's thought was that, well, why did you do that? You just spoiled that for me. Now, my thought was most of us assumed he would get back to Earth.
Yeah, no, I
didn't think he was going to die in space if he dies. But I do kind of understand where someone like Mark is coming from, where it's like, why spoil that? What if I was someone who believed he could have died in space?
Yeah, see, that's the thing. Is like I guess most of us would have thought,
they could have just CGI'd him out like the Hulk.
True. They could have just. That's right. They could have just taken him out and like not left that to question. But like most of us weren't questioning that he was going to get out. Of it, especially with also like I think there was a scene in like the trailer before this one where he's hardcore working with Nebula on the ship itself.
Yeah. So, I always thought he was going to get out because it's the symbolism back to Iron
the first
Man
Iron
1.
Man, yeah.
It's the end of...
This is an end of an era.
And here's the other reason why, going back to a conversation that we've had before of like who's going to die of the Avengers, I know that I saw one thing where it's like, okay, everyone who said nothing to lose, and whatever it takes, that's what it was. Whatever it takes is going to die. But Tony, Cap, Blackwood, it was basically too many people to say every single one of those people are going to die. Here's the reason why, if I had to pick after this trailer, Tony is my bet. If someone dies, because there's always the option that Marvel could chicken out and say, nope, nobody dies. We didn't kill anyone. It's okay. You don't have to worry about anything.
You don't have to riot.
If somebody dies, it's going to be Tony. That's
I
what
think so. I think that's the bandwagon I've been on the whole time.
The reason why I think that, though, after this trailer is because of, A, who is he speaking to? Pepper Potts.
Yeah.
2, how he is speaking, where it's like, especially where he was like, yeah, there's so many times where, like, I told you, like, one last time and no more surprises. He's like, but I really was hoping that, like, I had one more rabbit out of my hat.
Yeah.
And the way he is talking is like, I think he is going to be the one to die to strengthen that relationship. And I can't help but think there's a reason why they put that dialogue at the beginning of Avengers Infinity War. Why if you are like Kevin Feige and Marvel, don't just put lines in to put lines in, unless it's like a Stan Lee cameo, and even then, there's a reason why they put some of those lines in. And why would he have Pepper Potts, or why would he talk to Pepper Potts about a dream about having a kid if she wasn't secretly going to be pregnant? You know, it would be even the biggest twist, because think about how much time had probably passed between when we saw her and him talking to when he was on the ship. Because, yeah, in movie time, it was a couple minutes.
Yeah.
But think about it. He went to Doctor Strange. He went to the Sanctum of whatever in New York, the Sanctum. Then he had that conversation with Thanos' children. Then he fought them. Then he was on the ship.
Yeah.
What if in that time, because she didn't think he was going to get into a fight, took a pregnancy test? And the reason why in the clip where she was like, Tony, no, don't go, don't go. What if it was because she took a pregnancy test?
I swear to God,
and
Tony.
she knew, hey, he was right. Don't do this. You can't leave your kid.
Yeah.
Like, what if that,
I mean,
like,
very possible.
I'm going very theory-like right now. I'm going very, like, there's nothing concrete. But what if? What if that
she
was
could
the
have went and
case?
did that and realized that, and we would like find out sometime in
Endgame.
Then maybe that's the possibility.
Because people are also, here's a question I'm going to ask you. Is he going to die, and is she going to take over the Iron Man mantle?
That'd be cool.
Because there's a... And this is another thing, too, of, like, as I say that, I was like, wait, did she say she was done after this movie or not? But people can be persuaded. Because there's a scene that they use with her in the Iron Man helmet from a different movie, and she puts it
from Iron
to
Man
her face.
3.
Was that 3?
3, yeah, where because she thought Tony was dead, and she
That's
puts
right,
it to her, and then all of a
Mandarin.
sudden there's a message inside there. Yeah,
That's right. And that's a symbolism for this message. She might know. Same thing. What are you thinking? Because I've talked numerously.
I'm trying to think of how to go about this because there's a lot of symbolism that comes back. They're showing a lot of like the beginning to now, and basically everyone's almost like at the point of everyone's restarting.
Yeah.
Cap is restarting from where he's left off, like you said earlier, feeling small again, but also feeling like the loss of a lot. And there's Tony, who's basically from square one again. Thor is just actually not square one. He's
lost everything.
Everything. I don't know. I'm trying to think. Like they're trying to pull a lot of emotions out in this one because like showing, I'm fairly sure I'm gonna ride the bandwagon that is Hawkeye's kid, his daughter. Because we had a few years since the other one passed. I don't remember how old she was in Age of Ultron.
She was a little kid, like not like little, but like maybe like 4th grade, 5th grade.
So she might have been a few years. So she could be like 10, 11 years old by then.
Exactly.
And that girl didn't look like she was that old. So, I mean, they're trying to pull a lot of emotions out. I mean, you can't do, which is why it's good that they're only showing like clips here and there of like Bruce and Black Widow, where you can't pull that emotion out too.
Yeah.
But I'm trying to think where to go from that because we're getting a lot of scenes of like obviously there's filler in there. We're getting some more ideas of what the hell's going on with Ant-Man, his confusion because he was stuck in the quantum realm, and like I get where Mark is coming from. I didn't even need to say much about that. I realized I just remembered.
Yeah,
I get where he's coming from. Where it's like, oh, that was a spoiler, but most of us have an idea that Tony's gonna get out of there, just like we had an idea. Well, he's gonna Ant-Man's going to get out of the quantum realm. You're not just gonna leave him in there.
And the one thing I will say, and I'm not saying,
and we're not gonna also kill Tony off in that way. No one's gonna. You know how many people you're gonna piss off if you just like let him die in space.
And I'm not saying this as what's the terminology I want to use, derogatory or like pushing anyone to the side.
Yeah.
But you and I are a different kind of beast.
That is true.
Than Mark. We're like, Mark's the, I'm the family man. I do my NFL podcast, my gaming podcast. I'm not on the Rick and Johnny. With him in Marvel films, he doesn't go see them day one like we do. Sees them maybe a week later or when he's got the time. So it's just like, it's a different beast.
Don't want to quite call him a casual, but
yeah, but like there are different people where not everyone sees it week one or day one, like you and I. Where you and I, we obsess about this.
Yeah, we watch. This is probably my 10th time watching this trailer.
Well, and not just
I don't mean
that,
just
like,
today.
You and I, we talk about on this podcast about this.
That's true.
So many times to where it's like, we're kind of obsessing over it in a good way. I love obsessing over this stuff and the different theories that may happen and stuff. The one thing I will say is after this trailer, totally understand now the post-credit scene with Captain Marvel.
Yeah.
Because remember how I said in the Captain Marvel review, which you guys should check out if you have not and have seen Captain Marvel.
And spoiler just in case you haven't.
Well, yeah.
I just want to give them a heads up.
Massive spoilers if you haven't. But I warned them in the video. You're not going to hit spoiler mode without knowing.
Oh, I'm saying spoiler now in case it spoils anything.
No, the trailer already did. If you're watching this, you know what I'm going to say.
Yeah, have an idea.
Now I know why they had the post-credit scene of like, wait, she already met the Avengers? I didn't get that in the movie. I get it now. And my dumb little pea-sized brain should have understood this. The reason why they did that then is, all right, now we can include her in the marketing.
Yeah.
We can include Captain Marvel, Carol Danvers, Brie Larson in these trailers now to show people, hey, Brie Larson's in this film. For the ones that aren't you
just
and
so
me,
you guys know.
Like, I will say, maybe the group of people that are in the group that Mark would be in, hey, Brie Larson's in this film, to where they might go, oh, fucking hey, Brie Larson's in that film. I gotta go see it. Anything to get people to go week
That's
one.
true.
Weekend one, they want to kill it opening box office.
They do.
They already will. Like, there are so many people that Marvel is just
I think they want to. I think they're trying to make it so they destroy it.
Exactly. Like this is the end.
They destroy it this weekend.
We're in the video game.
Weekend.
This is literally the end game of the video game. We need to end this with a bang.
Final boss.
Basically, and
actually, Thanos.
The thing I'm going to ask you, is how do you think they find Thanos? Do you think, because here's the two things I've seen. Either Nebula knows and Nebula tells them, or they have to go into the quantum realm back in time to change things, and that lures Thanos out of...
I think it's going to be... my brain was leaning more towards a lure Thanos out, because they're showing sort of like the time travel suits and everything. At least that's what you and I are thinking. They're the quantum realm suits, which I find interesting that we don't see Bruce or Thor in one.
We don't see them yet.
I'm saying that, and I'm saying that I didn't say yet because we're seeing trailers.
We've seen Thor in one on toy packaging.
On toy packaging and on like concept art, but in the trailer, you see Steve, you see Nebula, you see Hank, you see everyone except Thor and Bruce.
Hulk's the big one.
Yeah.
Where he is again, where it's like, you're keeping him a secret. And I don't mind it. Keep him a secret.
Yeah.
But yet again, you're keeping him a secret like you did for Infinity War.
Well, I mean, actually, I say 3 people because Brie Larson didn't get one either. Captain Marvel isn't. And I'm not saying none of them are getting it. I'm just saying in the trailer, they're not showing those 3 getting it. And technically, the 3 of them, we don't know if they even need it. That's why I'm saying it's interesting.
Yeah, well, Thor, I think will get it because we've seen the art for
the art and the toy for it.
Captain Marvel's the interesting one.
Yeah,
because I don't know if she's technically going to need it because they'll probably be like, well, what can you do to by the time like how far in the past that movie was?
Yeah,
it was like you wouldn't be able to help us. Like Nick Fury didn't even know what the Avengers were. Like at the end of that movie,
it's not even
just typing up the Avengers protocol.
I know, but it's not necessarily them going back that far and like, oh, well, you wouldn't be able to help us then. It's more of a that team is gonna have to do their own thing. They're not gonna. When it comes to time travel, you usually try not to touch anyone else except what you're trying to fix.
But here's the thing.
Yeah.
If you bring, let's say, Captain Marvel back to the first Avengers. And by whatever reason, old Tony sees Captain Marvel, that might, because Tony's an inquisitive guy.
True.
He's going to look into it. You've already split the timeline off from where it was because Tony saw Captain Marvel, might have seen her use her power and goes, who the hell is that?
I mean, the same thing could happen with seeing Nebula or Ant-Man or any of those. So it still messes up things.
But see, here's the thing I'm thinking of.
Yeah.
I don't think Nebula will be a huge one. Ant-Man, though, the thing that could be different is, oh, shoot, someone's coming.
True.
And he's so small where you can't see him.
That's true. That's the one that can fix it. But I mean, the rest of it still comes down to Nebula. War Machine is not that big a deal. I mean, no, he was there at that point.
Yeah, he was there.
I'm trying to think if there's anyone that wasn't.
I'm looking at the end. So, out of the ones that we see, Nebula's the interesting one only because,
Tony sees Tony.
Yeah, but like we've got Cap.
No, I'm kidding about that one.
Ant-Man, Hawkeye, Nebula, Black Widow, Tony Stark. So I mean, really, like Nebula's the only one of like, okay, if someone sees you, they're like, who is that? But at the same time, if Tony sees Tony, it's like Spider-Man. The Spider-Man meme where, hey, who are you? Who are you? No, and I'm not you. You're not me. But basically...
Pointing Drew. Well, you're pointing. No, you're pointing.
I wonder how many of the old... Because I know we're going back to Avengers 1.
Yeah.
Because we've even seen set photos of them with the wristwatches.
Yeah, that's true.
Cap's in his old gear. Tony's in his old setup. And basically, we know what we think. We're going back to that movie. I wonder if we go back to any of the solo Avenger films.
I feel like we might hit a little bit of things.
Does Thor go back using the quantum realm to when his dad was alive to ask him? And we get another big Odin speech.
What if all those are... Nah, maybe not. I was going to say, what if those are all hinting at like what movies we're going to see?
What do you mean?
Them go back into.
You mean at the beginning?
Yeah, those little cutscenes.
Tony goes back to the first Iron Man.
Like, not necessarily that scene, but like it's going back to that movie. He's going to go back to the first Iron Man and do something. We're going to go back to the first Avenger and to see something. We're going to go back to Thor 1, see something. I even know there was another scene that I missed.
My guesses would be this. Here, I'm going to throw out a list of guesses. You ready for it? Number 1. We're going back to the first Avengers because what was the big weapon that Loki was using?
He was technically using the Scepter, the Mind Stone.
And the Tesseract.
And the Tesseract, yeah.
So you've got stones there. Thor, although I hate to say this, we're going to Thor.
The Dark World?
The Dark World. Because of the Aether. Like, that's where the Aether was. We need that. I'm
Wonderful
trying to
hit
think
a Guardians
of the other ones. Doctor Strange, see, that's the weird one because Doctor Strange ain't alive.
So they won't know what to do unless they somehow contact Wong, which we haven't seen.
Yeah, but I'm trying to think for Guardians, was there the Power Stone?
The orb, yeah, the Power Stone.
Basically, yeah, Nebula, because Nebula would know about the Power Stone.
And Rocket.
Rocket. I forgot Rocket's still around.
Yeah.
Rocket would know. So there's, 3, 4 of them?
That's 4 of them right there,
Because technically they could go back to, for the Mind Stone, they could go back to any time Vision's alive.
Yeah. Or, like you said, get it from the scepter.
Yeah, basically. So there's 4 of the 6. The Mind Stone they wouldn't be able to get, or the Soul Stone they wouldn't be able to get.
They were not going to touch that, and then we're missing
And then
one.
the Time Stone. It just depends on how they get back to a Captain Marvel movie, or to a, not Captain Marvel, to a Doctor Strange. Unless it's just like, hey, let's jump through time to try to find Doctor Strange.
I think like there was mention of, and this could be, I'm thinking back to comics, I could be mixing it up, that the Time Stone is at all points in time. Because it's the Time Stone.
What do you mean?
So it would be more so of a finding the Time Stone as opposed to when in time they can find it. It's a weird concept. But anyways,
it's always there. But like they can't find it in their time.
Yeah.
Because it got blown up with the gauntlet.
Yeah, it's in the gauntlet with like basically what it seems like is fused to Thanos' hand.
Yeah. Anything you think we missed with this that we need to touch?
Not a lot that we can really touch right now. I mean, it's interesting to see. I want to see what prompted Thor to jump into liking Captain Marvel so quickly.
I think it's just the intensity.
Yeah, I think so.
I think it's just a joke thing of like how intense she is.
It is, but I think
she's not backing down from him.
And why, like, and also the difference of like why he seems so calm there as opposed to like rap battle. I'm like about to murder someone. Thor.
We don't.
No, I'm
like,
saying,
and that's the thing that I just want to
wait
say.
for the movie, but I curious.
Think that there is something where the rap battle Thor, beginning of the movie, something happens and he thinks about stuff to where his mind becomes clear again. Yeah. And then by the time we see that Captain Marvel scene, his mind has already.
I mean, like in Ragnarok,
clear.
doesn't mean he can't go like doom and go back into the where he sees Odin.
Yeah, exactly.
So that could be one of those things, but. Unless you get your little Avengers fight where he she shows up and he shows up right behind her and
just punches her. But this is where you guys come in. Let us know what you guys think down below in the comment section. As I looked and I did not check the camera is dead. You're looking at our logo. But let us know what you guys think. Anything from the trailer that we missed and you want us to talk about, we can mention in next week's podcast. If you got any questions for us, also hit us up there as well. You can also hit us up on Twitter at that's Brandon, at War Machine 9085, at Ricky Widmer, at Most Valuable Pod. Let us know what you guys are thinking about this trailer.